Hi, I'm Candace Michelle, and today I am down at the Smith River with Chris Howard and Brenda Lopez. And it is a gorgeous day on the Smith River. Absolutely beautiful. Hello, Chris and Brenda. How are ya?
Hello, Candace. Good.
We're doing great.
So, why are we down at the Smith River today?
Well, we're here as the Chamber of Commerce for Del Norte County and Crescent City to really invite people to the 4th of July celebrations coming up here in a couple weeks.
And we're showing people that in addition to there being things to do in downtown Crescent City, there's also this beautiful redwood lined river here.
There sure is. You know, a lot of people think of Del Norte County and Crescent City for the fireworks, the great beaches, but you know, we're upstream. We're upstream, not even a couple miles outside of Crescent City right now on the gorgeous Smith River, right smack in the middle of the redwoods, and you cannot beat this for a summer vacation. So we'd love to offer folks a chance and an opportunity to come and visit our beautiful area where you have over 80% public land in the national park, in the state park, in the Forest Service, right here in sunny old California, not even a couple miles from the beach.
And the nice thing is that if it's foggy in Crescent City or along the coast, it's not foggy up here. It's just crystal clear.
It sure is. It doesn't get any more amazing than this. We're sitting out here today. The sun's coming down. You can take your shirt off, get a wonderful tan without experiencing the heat you're going to find inland. So
Yeah, because there's a nice breeze blowing too. It's just beautiful here.
It is. And you know, as we sit here and speak, we have people coming down to go fishing. We have people enjoying the river right now. We've got some people getting some boogie boards out. There's people everywhere enjoying this weather, the water. It's a beautiful, beautiful day.
And the Smith River is pretty famous. I mean, it's well known for how beautiful it is. And I don't think they let motorized boats on it. Is that right?
That's correct. You know, this is one of the most pristine rivers in the entire United States, equally so in North America. People know us for that. They know us for the wonderful, fabulous steelhead fishing we have here and Chinook salmon fishing. But this time of year, what we're known for is bringing great people out of the heat to the cool coast, and that's something we want folks to experience.
Now, I think this is our fourth year talking about this wonderful 4th of July celebration in Crescent City. And I'm as excited about it this year as I have been all of the rest of the years. The parade is awesome. That was the most amazing parade I think I've ever seen. But let's talk about how you kick off the event. What's the first thing that happens?
You know, what we have going on here, and you know, Brenda could help me out with this, but bottom line, the way we've always done it here in Del Norte County is it's a community event. It takes a lot of groups to pull off an event of this size, and you know we draw well over 40,000 people to this community every year to help experience our 4th of July activities, which we've been told from San Francisco to Portland, we have the #1 event in the state. And so it is incredible. And you know, to get to your question, we kick it off with our 4th of July deck party.
We do. The deck party is a lot of fun. It is going to be a high school reunion for all ages. Come on down. There will be so many people in town. There's going to be music playing. This year, we have the Ferguson Brothers. Excellent band. I don't know if you've heard the Ferguson Brothers. You have to get down there. If you've heard them, you know you'll be there. If you haven't heard them, the Ferguson Brothers, you'll need to get down and check it out.
Now, this is on the 3rd of July. Is that when the deck party happens?
It is. It's the 3rd of July. The festivities kick off at 5 o'clock. The art festival is actually going to start a little earlier at 4 o'clock. So come on down at 4 o'clock. Go check out the art festival. It's inside the Cultural Center. They'll probably have a little bit of food, a little bit of drinks, get you geared up. And then the deck party will start at 5 o'clock. It's right outside on the lawn. We'll expect it to be another day just like this.
Wouldn't that be nice? Beautiful sunshine. And how many people usually show up to the deck party?
You know, it's been growing every year, Candace. We generally get around 8,000 to 9,000 people to come out and really crowd up our lawn, meet the people they haven't seen in years, And then these last couple years, we've even had a lot of the tourists come in and join our party. And that's what makes it such a wonderful event. You get to meet people from all over the world, people traveling through from the state and from outside the state. But more importantly, that 4th of July event, that deck party, is what helps us raise funds for our fabulous 4th of July fireworks show.
And how do you do that? How does that raise the funds?
Well, like every deck party, the last word there is party. And we help raise those funds through selling drink tickets.
Excellent.
And those drink tickets are really what help to support that fireworks display.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, what day of the week does the 4th of July fall on this year?
The 4th of July is going to fall on a Wednesday this
Okay.
year. So the deck party on the 3rd of July will be Tuesday evening.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
There's also another activity that night on the 3rd. We've got LRT's Melodrama. That's at 664 H Street. That's going to begin at 6:30. You don't want to miss the Melodrama.
H Street
H
as in high. H.
H
Yes.
as in high.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Melodramas are so much fun.
They are. And you know, Candace, another very, very important item to mention, the deck party would not happen without our sponsors. This year's deck party is sponsored by Walmart. So thank you to Walmart for being the deck
Yeah.
party sponsor.
That's excellent. Excellent. All right, so we've got the deck party Tuesday night starting at 5:30.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
4 o'clock for
Okay.
the art festival, 5 o'clock for the deck party.
Okay. And that deck party will last how long?
Usually till about 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8
Great.
o'clock.
Great. And there's also the melodrama.
Yes.
And
6:30.
then the following day is
Well,
the 4th of
let's not leave
sorry.
there. There's
Sorry.
one more thing we got to think about.
Oh, what?
Simultaneously, while the melodrama and the deck party are playing out, right behind us in the cultural center, on the deck party lawns, and inside we'll have the art show that will be taking place and starting up that evening. And that is spectacular to come in and see our local artists and their displays. They're even selling artwork in there at that time.
And there are quite a few really talented artists up here.
There sure are. You know, this is a growing art community. They like these small towns and these close-knit communities where they have friends and family, but more importantly, they like to show their wares. And this is one of those unique times of year when they could do that beyond just the community. They could show it to everybody.
That's great. So what's next then?
Well, you know what? I think we need to start talking about what we offer here in this community.
Please do.
And so what we offer here to that person coming from out of town, like I said before, is that escape from the heat.
Yep.
And this is a wonderful time of year to escape the heat inland. You're just a short drive from Medford, from Grants Pass to this coast. We'd love to have you here for the week. And we have plenty of room for you to stay. We have plenty of camping opportunities in the state national park and even on the Forest Service lands. We encourage you to call the Chamber to help find those locations. The Chamber can be reached at 707-464-3174, and we can help direct you to a lot of those locations and more importantly into our local businesses where we have plenty of motel rooms to really convey to those folks coming outside of the area.
And there are quite a few good restaurants. I know one in particular serves delicious seafood.
There sure is. There's several seafood places here in town. You can find them in the harbor, you can find them along our downtown area, you can find them outside of the town, all the way up in our Smith River neighborhood.
And it's just beautiful. I mean, just taking a look around here, this is the most gorgeous country imaginable with the redwoods and the river. I mean, it's breathtaking.
You know, it certainly is. It doesn't get any better than this. And the great reason we're out here today, Candace, is to really show that here in Del Norte County, this truly is where the redwoods meet the sea.
Ah, that's so nice. Well, we're going to take a tiny little break right now for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back talking with Chris Howard and Brenda Lopez about the upcoming 4th of July celebration. Hi, we are back. I'm Candace Michelle, and I'm standing down at the Smith River with Chris Howard and Brenda Lopez, and we are talking about the upcoming Crescent City 4th of July celebration, which is always so amazing and wonderful every year. So what is next then? At this point now we're into the actual day of the 4th of July. So how does that start out?
Make sure you get up early on the 4th of July. You have to head downtown for the parade. Our parade lineup is going to begin at 8 a.m. and I'm going to start out this time by again saying thank you to our sponsors. This year's parade sponsors are Sutter Coast Hospital and Smith River Rancheria. So thank you to both Sutter Coast Hospital, Smith River Rancheria for supporting our parade.
Now, you do have to get there pretty early if you want a good seat along the parade route, right?
You do. You'll want to get your spot early. There's going to be people lined up throughout the entire parade route, and Chris will know that route better than I will, but yeah, I know where I'll be sitting.
And that's all that matters.
That's my spot.
Chris, how many people generally are in the parade? How many floats or entrants are there?
We average well over 130 a year, and it makes for a spectacular parade. And what has grown significantly since we started doing this many years ago is the word about getting that small town feel. And we definitely have that small town feel, and I think that's why it's not just the community that comes out for the parade, but it's also the tourists that are visiting our town. They want to feel what small town USA is like, and this is it.
And it's great. I mean, you get the police cars and the fire engines and all of that stuff, as well as other floats that are just delightful.
You sure do. You got Sparky the dog running around with his little hat on and his Tinkerbells, and you got little cars zooming around through there. You got the mountain men walking down the street firing off their muskets.
And they're wonderful.
It is quite a celebration. Yeah. And most people think of slow little parades and maybe a couple people twirling batons, but not this parade. It takes in every aspect of our community, from our rich history in fishing to our rich history in logging to what's going on these days right now with folks that are trying to build this area. And it is quite a success. And the reason we could say that is because, well, on that 1.5 mile parade route through downtown Crescent City, we sometimes have more than 5 or 6 people deep on each side of the street watching the parade.
Wow.
And so it is a spectacular event.
Now, where does it start?
It starts on 8th Street and the corner of 9th Street. And the parade route will continue all the way down each street till it hits Front Street and circle around Front Street through Beachfront Park and then back up by the chamber offices and then circle back again onto 2nd Street all the way back to 9th Street. So it's a fairly long parade route, but more importantly, it gives everybody an opportunity to get a front row seat if they get there early enough.
So the parade, they start lining up at 8 o'clock. What time does the parade actually start? Do we know?
I believe we do.
10 o'clock.
Okay.
The parade is usually going to last about 2 hours, so 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. It's a good sized parade.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. And how many people generally come into town for these celebrations?
You know, just the parade itself, last year it was a day just like we have today. It was sunny, it was clear, little wind in the sky, and there must have been close to 35,000 people lining that parade route. And you know, it is great. It's absolute magic to see the sparkle in those little kids' eyes when that fire truck runs by and sounding off that siren, and then the candy starts flowing into the streets.
Yes.
And these little feet just pattering out there to grab that
Yes.
Snickers bar and
Yes.
hustle back into the crowd. So, you know, the kids are really getting the most pleasure and enjoyment out of this event, while the parents get to stand back and smile about having those memories that
And
the
take
kids
lots
are
of
now
pictures.
having.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything quite like a small town parade. It's just pure magic.
It sure is, especially for this community.
Yeah.
It brings us back to where we were, and we love to share that with the world.
Yep. All right, we're going to take another small break because we are going to change locations. We're going to go down to the ocean so that you can see some ocean. So we'll be right back. Hi, and we are back. We're we're in Crescent City now, standing outside the Battery Point Lighthouse. And with me again is Chris Howard and Brenda Lopez. And we are going to talk a little bit more about the upcoming 4th of July celebration that's going to be happening right here in Crescent City. So, what is going to be happening after the parade or during the parade, or what's the next event?
Well, the next event after our parade is bringing everybody into our beautiful downtown beachfront park. And it's nothing but a large expanse of lawn where people could set up shop for the day, have their picnic lunch, and visit all our vendors that come into the community and eat a couple doughboys along the way.
Oh, yum on the doughboys.
Don't miss out on the doughboy. The
Really?
line is well worth it.
Yes. So how many vendors do you normally have?
Well, there could be up to 75, sometimes 100, so it's well worth coming out and seeing what the wares are for the day.
That sounds great. Do you have some, for instance, there'll be this person there or that person there?
You know, I sure don't. It's an eclectic mix, but I'm
Good.
sure Brenda's got a memory of a couple.
Well, I do. The doughboy is definitely my favorite. But one of the things we have going on that actually starts, just before the parade starts. This starts at 9 o'clock. Homemade, I said homemade, not frozen, pie and ice cream social. Yes. You've got to make it down for this. This is going to be held at
Wow.
the museum. That's at 577 H Street. That's going to go on from 9 to 2.
Wow.
You can shoot down before the parade. Maybe you'll have a spot and you're there during, or maybe you'll shoot by after the parade ends at noon.
Sounds great. And what are some of the other things that are going to be happening?
Well, we're going to have a small little show and shine, so we'll have cars here, all your fabulous sea cruise type cars that we normally bring out at the end of the summer, but we're also going to have a few right down here at Beachfront Park for you to see and gawk over.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And
Yep.
what else?
Well, the art festival will continue. We talked about that going on during the deck party. It's going to continue from 10 to 5 during the 4th of July. So you can still get down there if you didn't get there during the deck party, or maybe there's some more pieces you wanted to see.
And do you know how many artists are going to be exhibiting?
No, there's generally about 30 plus artists that are in that facility, and they have some incredible oil paintings, sculptures, glass beadwork, everything your little heart would desire.
And I would imagine that if you're from out of town, you'd like to take back some kind of a souvenir of this place. And if somebody's actually done a painting of, like, what's behind us, for instance,
Exactly.
it's just...
The redwoods, the seascapes, they'll all be there.
Yeah.
We've got some fabulous painters in this area that work in oils, and it'll just knock your socks off, even the pastels and the watercolors.
That's great. And what about games and stuff? Are there games going to be happening?
There will be lots of games, but starting at noon, as soon as the parade is over, we talked about the deck party. We're going to have the Ferguson brothers. At noon, we're going to have the Hog Wild Band on our stage. Yes.
Okay, I have not heard of them, so
I have
that'll
heard
be
of the
interesting.
Hog Wild
Okay.
Band. They're
Yeah.
definitely another one, a
Great.
must-see.
Great.
Also important, again, to mention the sponsors. Sixel Consulting is our stage sponsor this year, so we appreciate that we're able to get these bands out here during the day of the 4th because of Sixel Consulting.
Absolutely. And they'll be playing from when to when, do you know?
I think they're going to play maybe till 2.
Okay.
You'll have to
Great.
come out.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great excuse, right?
Yeah.
Sure is.
And the park is so beautiful. It's just a great place to play.
Yeah, the food's going to overwhelm your senses. The beauty is going to overwhelm your senses. But more importantly, this year we're kicking off something new, and that is a barbecue downtown in our beachfront park. And this is not just any barbecue, this is a competition barbecue. It's going to hopefully become a tradition. And Palmer Westbrook Ranch decided to sponsor that this year and get it kicked off so people could bring their barbecues down and show Crescent City what they're all about. And more importantly, continue this tradition from here forward.
Are there specific things that are going to be barbecued, or is it just sort of a free-for-all?
It's your secret family recipe. Nobody gets access to it, but you're going to have a series of judges that are going to rate each of the dishes that are presented before them, and we will find out who's the best barbecue expert in this Del Norte County.
And there's still time to sign up for this. So head down to the chamber offices, give them a call, and find out how you can sign up for this contest.
Great. Now, games. Are there games? I'm always interested in the games. I'm
There
especially
sure are.
interested. I have to admit that my favorite game, although I haven't played it, but it's just the
I
name.
bet I
It's
know.
the cow chip.
Cow chip bingo.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, so explain that because I can't be the only person who didn't know what it was.
No. And this year it's rather unique. You know, the Seroptimus is usually the group that sponsors this every year, where they put a little bingo square out there, and
Not
every
little.
well,
A big,
a big bingo square.
Big enough to fit 3 cows.
Yes. Of course.
Cows.
Now cows need to do their business, right?
Yes.
And so when a cow does their business throughout the day, that little plop represents
Money.
a space. It represents dollars. So you want the cow to do its plop
On
so
your
you could
spot.
get some
On your
bingo numbers rattled off. But this year the Seroptimus and the Chamber of Commerce are sponsoring this event.
That's
It's a
great.
great way to raise funds for a good
That's
cause.
So what are you like cheering on the sidelines? Come on, move over a little bit. Move over.
Whatever you think will work.
Pretty funny.
Yes.
Mhm.
We have judges there, and you're welcome to use whatever means you deem necessary.
Unbelievable.
If you speak cow, that's important. Mm.
Chris, you're a natural.
There we go.
He'll be by my square then.
And are there other games?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, the bounce houses, which all the kids really enjoy getting out on. We'll probably have 3 or 4 out there this year.
Great.
We're also looking to bring some of those mini carts downtown
Oh,
with the flags on the back that race around a little track.
Fun.
You know,
I
kids.
heard rumor of a petting zoo.
Rumor of a petting zoo.
And tell me about the fireworks because that is the big show, right?
It is. And like we said, from San Francisco to Portland, you're not going to find a bigger show in this region along the West Coast. This is what made the signature 4th of July event for this community of Crescent City, Del Norte County. It doesn't get any bigger than we have here. It's almost a 30-minute display with background music playing, with your national anthem and all your favorite country songs that talk about the heart of America.
Boy, that just sounds wonderful. And where is the fireworks show?
Well, believe it or not, it's right behind us
Wow, you mean on that pier?
on that pier.
That's exciting.
It doesn't get any better than that.
No.
There's so many great places to view those fireworks. There's a lot of folks that come to our area and they're out in our harbor on their boats watching the fireworks. They line up in Beachfront Park watching the fireworks. They could be right here on this lighthouse that we're standing on right now. Because guess what? Low tide right at 6:40 this year.
And talk a little bit about the lighthouse because I'm sure that some of our visitors are really going to want to see this lighthouse.
You know, it's one of the oldest in California, one that you could access just by walking to. It's right off Beachfront Park. It doesn't take more than 3 minutes to take a jog into, and it's great. The folks that are here that run it for the Historical Society in Del Norte County do a great job at maintaining this place. You get some spectacular views off this lighthouse.
And you do have to make sure that you come out during the
Low
low tide
tide.
because otherwise the ocean cuts you
That's
off.
right. And this year on the 4th of July, it's at 6:40. So you could time it just right to have your lawn chair set up and view those fireworks, not even 200 feet from you.
What time do the fireworks start?
Well, just after sunset. So usually 30 minutes after sunset, 9:30 generally is when those fireworks will lift off.
9:30. And again, folks, it's so important to recognize our sponsors. We would not have these great events that we do without our sponsors. For the fireworks show this year, we have the City of Crescent City to thank. We have, of course, again, this Crescent City Del Norte County Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know if this is new this year. Lucky
is.
7 Casino. Thank you to Lucky
No,
7
it's
Casino.
great to have them on board this year. We couldn't
is.
do it without them. Those 3 sponsors have hit a home run in our book.
Yeah, that's great. And I've heard that putting on a fireworks show is tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, it's very expensive stuff.
And it goes up every year.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get the maximum amount of pleasure up there in that sky. The blues, the yellows, the pinks, the Mickey Mouse head. Those things that say welcome to Crescent City and welcome America. You've arrived in small town USA.
And it is such a wonderful place to enjoy the 4th of July. This is just wonderful. I can't think of a better place to be.
No, there really isn't. There are so many festivities throughout the day. We already mentioned the first band that will be on the Sixel Consulting stage on the day of the 4th. We have more bands. We have the Ferguson Brothers coming back. So you'll get to hear them the night of the deck party. You'll get to hear them again the next afternoon. Then we have the Border Coast Band. They'll be coming on at 4. So, I mean, get down here. It's fun for the entire family, all ages.
It sounds like just a wild time.
It is a wild time. Beach blanket bingo.
So would you like to mention the sponsors one more time?
Sure would. You know, our general sponsors are always important to us. Del Rica, they've been with us for years. We also have North Coast Mercantile. They've also been with us for years. We have the Del Norte Triplicate, our fabulous newspaper, local newspaper here in town, and also Bicoastal Media as a generous sponsor.
Definitely. Again, thank you to all of the sponsors who have made this possible.
Now, if the two of you had to pick one thing that was your favorite part of the 4th.
Pretty tough.
Come on, you can do it.
That's pretty tough.
Favorite part.
You can do it.
You know, for me, right now, after last year, it is the parade. The parade is making my whole day, and to see my two little guys, little 7 and 10-year-olds, running out there, gathering up that candy and waving up there at that fire chief on that big old fire truck, and watching those mountain men come by and blazing off with those muskets, that's a treat and a half.
Yep.
I may have a new favorite this year. I have a new little guy to bring down this year, so
It may
my
be the
favorite may
parade.
be changing.
You know, your favorite's always the fireworks.
Yeah.
It is truly spectacular. I mean, we don't take out any stops, and having the fireworks over this spectacular ocean, it doesn't get any better than this.
Thank you very much, Chris Howard and Brenda Lopez. It was a pleasure, as always. And we're going to have a wonderful time this 4th of July, so join us in Crescent City.